How are people typically solving that in the industry today? So what I know that there's a lot of people that struggle with this because, listen, I just had a conversation just a couple of days ago with a very large MRO, and they're still operating off of paper. Like, yesterday morning, one of our presentations, one of the presenters said that 64% of the companies out there today don't think they'll be digital by 2024, I think is what he said, okay?
Right.
So we know it's a big problem, all right? So how are people struggling their way through solving this problem today? What's kind of the typical process?
You already mentioned it, that some of the players in the industry are actually still paper-based. I mean, you can imagine that that's a big challenge, right?
It is.
And the first step usually is for these companies, they decide that, okay, we're going away from paper and we basically switch to PDFs, right? Which is the first step. You basically, what you take away when you do that is the paper weight, but not much more than that. So you don't add much functionality, but at least you have your information on the screen as a first step. So that's where they actually start. And it's one of the challenges for operators to now figure out what can they do with that data. So PDF actually is not enough. That's what they realize.
Yeah.
The second step, to try to figure out how can you improve on that, and how can we make these processes more efficient and provide our users or their users with transparent information that is critical to their particular role and mission.
Okay, so given that we have those challenges, people want to go digital, we have struggles, and we're trying to figure out the ways to bring data into a digital form which becomes usable not only in for viewing purposes but for integration to our other systems. Now, what is Yonder doing, and how are you actually attacking this challenge and helping companies to be successful, in creating greater intelligence through the content?
So there's two things that we really would like to highlight here. Is one aspect is that wherever you can automate processes and connect different systems with each other and leverage data from different sources, that's when you should really try to benefit from that approach.
Yeah.
Meaning that if you have, for example, manufacturer manuals coming in from the manufacturers, such as Airbus and Boeing, for example, and you need to align the revisions coming in from the manufacturers with your customized operation manuals, you don't want to do that manually anymore. You want to automate that process. Certainly one of the aspects that Yonder can help out
and
with.
Yonder is doing this? You're helping to automate that?
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
All right, and like, what would be the ultimate output of something like that process? What would be the output? So we get a manufacturer's manual, and some of them come in structured data, some come in unstructured data, PDFs and various different forms. And you're saying that you help them to ingest that. What is the ultimate output of that?
The ultimate output of that is that you don't have to apply manual labor anymore. So subject matter experts can really focus on their subject matter expertise and are not left with manual processes that really don't add any value to the process. Just to give you an example, I mean, back in the day or even now, a lot of customers or a lot of players in the aviation, they get that revision in from the manufacturer, and they actually have to look through that revision manually, basically figure out what has changed, and then manually apply these changes to their customized operation.
Okay, so just so I can understand a little bit better, are you talking about having authoring tools or viewing tools, or what kind of things are we talking about here?
As far as Yonder is concerned, it's really an all-in-one solution, meaning that you have a complete content manager with an editor solution in the back end, but you also have a reader part of it that makes sure that the end user also gets to work with that information and to access the information that they actually need. And that's another point or another aspect that I would like to stress here, that we like to talk about efficiency and about managing documentation, leveraging content from different sources, but that's really just one aspect of it. The second aspect, as far as I'm concerned, even more important than what we've talked about just now, is the other 99%, which are the end users actually working with the information. You want to make sure that you can limit the visible content and the information that they receive to what they actually need in order to get the job done. So we're trying to decrease information overflow here as well, so the end user can actually focus on their particular role and mission. Absolutely, absolutely.
Excellent.